this on? There we go. Hare Krishna. So welcome to our guests who have come for the first time. Let's see by show of hands, who's come for the first time? Thank you very much. Where are you from? From France. Oh, wonderful. I don't speak much French. But we can share the language of our heart by welcoming you. All right? So please feel welcomed and stay with us. We're going to have a little music and take some lunch after that. If you have time, please be with us. Also, there are some faces amongst you that I have not met before. But just for the context of the last 2 days, we've had great celebrations. The Supreme Lord Krishna appears on this planet. Just as in other religions, we understand that they begin by a great personality, like Christianity has Jesus Christ, Islam, Muhammad, and Buddhism, Lord Buddha. In that way, the Supreme Lord Himself comes from time to time on this planet to re-establish the principles of religion. Because with the passage of time, this knowledge gets lost. We know from our own experience. If I asked you what you ate last week this time, you can't remember, probably not. So memory, humanity is fallible, so we forget. So Krishna comes. And Krishna sends His emissaries to remind us also at other times. So His great pure devotee appeared to fulfill a prediction. So on the September 1st, 1896, a great devotee was born. Or we say appeared, because the great spiritual teachers and the Supreme Lord, they are not born like you and I. They appear and they disappear, just as much as the sun comes out and goes behind the clouds. So, Srila Prabhupada, or at that time as a young boy, his name was Abhay Charan, one who is fearless, having taken shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. So he appeared a day after Krishna's appearance, which immediately heralds his position as a pure devotee of God, and also heralds his mission. And what was his mission? That in this age, the universe goes through cycles. Golden age, silver age, copper age, and bronze age, or at least the iron age. So this age is called the Iron Age. As you can see, we are punting technology as a solution to the world. But for every little microchip made, there's volumes of pollution billowing into the air. So it's a Iron Age of industrialization and of quarrel and hypocrisy, where little quarrel starts worldwide wars. So in this age, practically every one of us are disqualified in terms of spiritual understanding, because it has been predicted that we are short-lived, we are quarrelsome, we are misguided, we are lazy, and we are unlucky. This is said in Srimad Bhagavatam 5,000 years ago. Prayena alpayusa sabhya kalo asmin yoge jana. So therefore, practically we are unqualified. So what happens? How do we get this to be saved in this age? So Krishna comes himself in the guise of a devotee, as Lord Chaitanya. And he also predicts that in this modern time, his great devotee will come and carry his name all over the world. So 5,000 years ago, Krishna, the Supreme Lord, predicted that his mantra upashaka, these are Sanskrit names, Sanskrit terms. Sanskrit is the original language on this planet, from which all the Germanic, Romanic languages have appeared. Hebrew, Greek, they have appeared from that. So Sanskrit is the pure language spoken by the demigods and the Supreme Lord himself. So in Sanskrit, mantra upashika means the worshipper of my holy names. So Krishna says that the worship of his holy names will come 5,000 years later, which is where we are. 5,050 if you want to be technical. So when Krishna then left the planet, then the planet again gets plunged into sinful activity because the knowledge leaves with Krishna. The sages try, but the Kali Yuga is so overwhelming that the knowledge gets lost. And then Krishna comes in the guise of his devotee, Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda. They are the most merciful incarnations of the Supreme Lord. They don't give any condition. They just unconditionally give the love of Godhead to everybody. And Chaitanya and Nityananda, they take the holy name out on the streets. They inaugurated what is called the Sankirtan movement, the chanting of the holy name of God. Whoever chants it, whoever hears it, they all get the benefit, whether they know it or don't know it. Even a little fly sitting on the wall in the temple room gets it. Because the spirit, because you are not the body, you are a spirit soul. And the spirit soul connects with the spiritual sound, or the spiritual sound connects with the spirit soul, and wakes you up from your slumber. We all are sleeping souls. So it wakes us up, activates you. Wake up! That's through the years, we wake up. So the spiritual sound connects with you and wakes you up. So after Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda leaves the planet, which is about 540 years ago, then again, because of the nature of the world, the knowledge fades and remains only in some pockets, until the great acharyas again revive the movement. And therefore it is predicted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and this is now in Bengali, Pritiviti ache yata nagaradi gram sarvatra prachara hoibe morinam, that my holy name will resound in every town and village. And at that time it sounded like a poetic statement. How? How will it go around the world? This is a statement made in the subcontinent of India. But at the same time, the Industrial Revolution had begun, creating the technology that would be used today by the devotees to spread the holy name. And in 1896, September 1, first, Srila Prabhupada, the pure devotee, appeared. As predicted by Krishna, as predicted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And an astrological reading of his birth predicted that he will travel around the world several times and he'll open 108 temples, a minimum, because we have more than 400 or 500 now, and excluding farm communities and educational institutes and food for life kitchens and little centers here and there. So these great souls, they come to spread the holy name, Krishna Shakti Vinanehi Tara Pravratan. That only one who's empowered by the Supreme Lord can spread and distribute His holy name like this all over the world. So this is not some Indian philosophy. We may be dominantly visited by Indian people because we're in the heart of an Indian area segregated by the unfair laws of apartheid. But if we go to Soweto, then it's not Indian people. If we go to Russia, where's the biggest following, then it's white people. If we go to the Philippines, it's Filipino people. If we go to China, underground, clandestinely, it's Chinese people. All because we are spirit soul. And the spirit soul is not Chinese, Hindu, Russian, Ukrainian, Muslim, Hindu, Christian, or Jew, not even that. Because the spirit soul is pure spirit and is constitutionally a lover of God. And Srila Prabhupada came to take the holy name all over. And he went to the West, begging passage on a steamship, Jaladuta, leaving the shores of India on August 13th, traversing the Atlantic under some terrible conditions, and then arriving on Boston Harbor 17th of September 1965. Leaves on 13th August 65, arrives on 17th September. The most precious cargo, respectfully, the world has ever known was carried on that ship, placed his feet on the shores of America, from which the Hare Krishna movement took seed in the West as the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. In the middle of the hippie era, where everybody is looking for an alternative, fed up with the materialistic civilization of their parents' generation, but not knowing where to look. Therefore, sex, drugs, and rock and roll was the thing to try and get liberation. But still, frustration. Until they met the Swami in the Bowery, the most degraded place in the world, in New York City. The Swami was not an uptown Swami who catered for the whims and fancies of the wealthy, whose pockets would determine how Swami spoke. He did not compromise. He was a sadhu in his saffron robes in the middle of New York. He told his disciples that if you want to become God conscious, you follow the principles of religion. He did not compromise. No gambling, no illicit sex life, no meat eating, no intoxicants. Straight out. If you want to become advanced. So Prabhupada didn't compromise. And for a population of youth who considered anybody above 25 to be old, they followed the old man, Srila Prabhupada, who they always saw as effulgent and glowing and youthful. And from New York City, then California, sent his disciples to England, where they met the Beatles. Beatles cut the record, the Hare Krishna chant. First day it sold 80,000 copies. So here is Srila Prabhupada. It was his birthday yesterday, his appearance day. And today we want to ask some person, devotees here, to please say something about Srila Prabhupada. We have some representatives of the Namahata, 2 young men, we'd like them to start. Alanath Prabhu told me it's Nishay and Keaton, they want to say something. So what we are doing is we are honoring Srila Prabhupada by expressing our gratitude and love and what he has done for us. And Swarbrahmana Prabhu is even. So anybody is welcome who has had the association and impact made upon them by Srila Prabhupada to say something about him. All right?
Sorry, Smita Krishna Prabhu, Grace Padyavali Das.
Okay, so you please direct this. And they can use this mic, it's louder.
I'd like to come to the front.
Set it up as a stand here. And then we can, yeah, thanks. Thank you very much for your kind attention and participation. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Is it okay? Hare Krishna. So I just have a confession to make. I think this is the first time that I'm speaking about Srila Prabhupada, although I've been in the movement for quite a long time. So please forgive me. There are many senior devotees here, and I beg blessings from them before I even utter words in glorification of Srila Prabhupada. So I want to speak about the qualities of Srila Prabhupada, but I want you to reflect on something. I don't think that whilst you're sitting here this morning, you realize what wealth you have from Srila Prabhupada. There's a verse in the Brihan Narada Purana that says, Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Harer Nam Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva 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 Gatir Anyata, that there's no other way, no other way, no other way than the chanting of the holy names, holy names, holy names. And it's been emphasized 3 times for emphasis that how important it is to chant the holy names. So we are always planning on things, vacations and like that, but this is our ticket to go back home, back to the spiritual world, by chanting the holy names of the Lord. And this is the greatest wealth that Srila Prabhupada has given us. All we have to do is take advantage of it and make tracks and go back home, back to Godhead. And not only this, but Srila Prabhupada gave us so many cultural things. It's actually a cultural reformation, a spiritual reorganization. We have learned how to interact with each other, how to be not just humans, not animals, but humans. Animals have 4 legs. We have 2 legs, but if we don't know how to conduct ourselves, then we are just no better than the animals. So he has taught us how to speak, how to eat, what to do, what not to do, and gave us so much of guidance that if we just follow, we can make tracks in this lifetime and go back home, back to Godhead. So he has given us so much, but I also want to speak about his deep compassion. Actually, I heard that Albert Schweitzer, he went to West Africa and he was looking into the eyes of the children, and he said that he saw Jesus in the eyes of the children. I hope I got this right. So Srila Prabhupada was so great that he saw in every soul Krishna, and he maxed out on that. He didn't leave anyone out, no matter what or how on the spiritual scale where the person was. He had compassion for everyone. There is one tale about him where someone spoke to Srila Prabhupada and told him that his disciple was smoking cigarettes, and did you say, Srila Prabhupada, that you will denounce this disciple? I think this was what was said. And then Srila Prabhupada said, Lord Nityananda's mercy is infinite. So meaning that Srila Prabhupada, of course, would not do that because he used to worry about every soul that came, just like Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj. One time he was crying because the disciples asked him why he was crying, and he said he was crying because he couldn't save the soul. So Srila Prabhupada was emulating his Guru Maharaj all the way, and he also had this deep compassion, and he definitely would not just, say this disciple is like that. He had so much of mercies, and we are all testimony of that mercy of his. So he actually showed us what it is to be, how to live, and in his example, he also showed us how we must leave our bodies. And even in his last moment, he was seeing Krishna everywhere. So he was walking the talk. He showed us how to leave, and as he was saying Krishna everywhere, and as he was saying Krishna, he left his body. So he has taught us so many things, and so we can read Srila Prabhupada's Leelamrita, which gives accounts, of how this movement began and where it is now, and what Srila Prabhupada has done. So on this auspicious day of Srila Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja, I humbly beg for special mercies from Srila Prabhupada, because I'm I haven't even come anywhere near the rung of the spiritual ladder, so I beg for special mercies and beg the blessings of all the assembled devotees here that I can please Srila Prabhupada. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Madam Padyavali. So now we have two youthful devotees, Bhakta Keetan and Bhakta Nishay, who would glorify Srila Prabhupada in their words. And in
Hare Krishna. I'd like to recite some pranams. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakti Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please forgive me for any offenses that two of us may cause during our presentation. So on behalf of the Krishna Prema Namahata youth group, we'd like to share some of our realizations as a youth group and how Srila Prabhupada has helped us and guided us in our spiritual life. Of course, we will be talking from a very junior perspective. Our knowledge and our experience is not as great as some of the devotees who are presented here. Our youth consists of many members who are actually quite young and shy to speak. So it'll just be presented by my friend Keetan and myself, Nishay. So, Keetan.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I'll just share my realization from the group. My realization, being somewhat a new devotee who joined from a Christian background through my dad, Sadhguru Swami Das, and Yamunangi Mataji, who is always kind enough to engage me in devotional service, as well as being a spiritual mentor to me. Through hearing Prabhupada speak, he taught me how to understand Christianity more, and that when it comes to spiritual life, the goal is not debating which religion is better, nor is the goal to become the most religious in one's path of life, but the goal is to go back home, back to Godhead, and develop love for the Supreme Lord through the ABCs of spiritual life, which A is for association, B is for reading and distribution of books, C is for chanting the holy name and Harinam. D is for devotional service. And my personal favorite, E is for eating of prasadam. Thank you.
Thanks, Keaton. I've been a part of this Namahata since 2011, and when I was much younger and definitely a qualifying youth member, as time goes on, you move into a leadership position and attempt to guide the real youth within the Namahata, while also trying to build your own personal spiritual life in Krishna consciousness. It's not the easiest task. I knew the value of spirituality in Krishna consciousness, and I needed to learn more. Back when I was in high school, I read a few books, the first book being Coming Back by Srila Prabhupada, Life Comes from Life, and then I attempted to read Bhagavad Gita as well. I also did a course in 2018, that is Disciples course. I won't mention the teacher's name, but it starts with the S and ends with the Damodar Das. It was through that course, which was presented so well, that truly established Srila Prabhupada within ISKCON. It sounds strange to say that because, Prabhupada is such a pinnacle in ISKCON, but back then all you hear about is Prabhupada is the founder Acharya, and Prabhupada translated Bhagavad Gitas and so on, the Bhagavad Gita and all his books and so on. But it didn't really have that much of an impact. But this Disciples course actually made me truly appreciate Prabhupada and all that he has done for us. With an increased appreciation for Prabhupada and ISKCON, I felt I needed to do more. However I can. The best was to start at our Namahata, particularly with the youth, trying my best to guide them and support them with whatever little knowledge I had learnt, and taking much guidance from senior devotees, such as Alanath Das, our youth Namahata leader, and my father as well, Rajiv Prabhu. And of course, I guided them wherever, I asked for them for guidance wherever I lacked it. I'm happy to see the youth grow in various aspects of their spiritual life, such as in their chanting, in their reading and listening, because they sometimes approach me and the other senior devotees with questions. I would think that this is due to the youth attending currently the overview of Bhagavad Gita. We're currently doing a course with Alanath Prabhu at Hillary, and I think this has created a ground in which we can ask many questions and clear any doubts that we have in spiritual life. And of course, this has created a lot of enthusiasm within our youth, and so much so that they feel encouraged to do more service. Quite recently, we held our Janmashtami program, and they were very much enthusiastic to engage in various service. Of course, just I think because of time constraints, I'd just like to end off here. For anyone who ever had any doubt about Prabhupada, ISKCON, and ultimately Lord Krishna, I can tell you that all the formulas that Prabhupada has given us certainly works. Just trust in the direction of Prabhupada, and you will see the magic that actually unravels in spiritual life. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So we can ask Veerabhadra Prabhu to give us his realizations about Srila Prabhupada. And anybody else is invited, everybody else is invited. If you like to speak about Prabhupada, just give us an indication. And it's about saying how you've been impacted by Srila Prabhupada and what you feel.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, I haven't prepared anything, so I was just told to speak now. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. So this is Srila Prabhupada's pranam mantra, and what it means is, I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at His lotus feet. Our respectful obeisances are unto you, O spiritual master, servant of Saraswati Goswami, you are kindly preaching Shri Shri Radharanath Ki Jai. You are kindly preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya and delivering the Western countries which are full with impersonalism and voidism. So, we find that Srila Prabhupada, he is no ordinary personality. Like Jai Sachinandan Prabhu was saying, Smita Krishna Prabhu, this old man at the age of 70 left his mother country, left India, to travel across the seas to America to preach Vedic culture in the West, in a place where Western culture was almost zero, you know. They have their own culture in the West. But Srila Prabhupada, we see in Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine, that he is the servant of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, his spiritual master. And his spiritual master instructed him to go to the Western, basically to preach the Krishna consciousness to the West, to write books in English, so that the Western countries can understand this Krishna consciousness. And so at the age of 70, he left India to do this. Obviously, he started writing before that. But with a trunkload of books and few rupees in his pocket, he traveled across the sea in a steamboat, reached America, and basically he didn't know whether to turn left or right. But all along the way we find, when we read Srila Prabhupada's Leela Amrita, we read his poems and things, we understand that he was always praying to Krishna for Krishna's mercy. And he says that he is a puppet, and Krishna is a puppet master, and you know, he says, Krishna, make me dance to your tune. So he goes to America, not knowing whether to turn left or right, and chants Hare Krishna. And now, so many years later, we have about 400 or 500 temples around the world. There are hundreds of thousands of devotees that are chanting Hare Krishna. Hundreds of thousands of devotees worshipping Srila Prabhupada across the world. Russia, China, South Africa, so many African countries. Just yesterday, we had someone from the area where I live, near the area that I live, in Hammersdale, a Zulu guy that made his way to this temple from Hammersdale, taking two or three taxis, not knowing where to come. He phoned my wife Rupa Manjari and asked, I'm here at the taxi rank in Pinetown, what should I ask them? Where should I tell them that I need to come? And then she explained to him, and he came all the way to visit this temple. I mean, that would have never happened if it wasn't for Srila Prabhupada. And so he came here, and what an auspicious day on the Vyasa Puja day of Srila Prabhupada. He offered flowers to Srila Prabhupada. I organized a garland for him from Srila Prabhupada, and he was so happy. And he said, even if we are not here, he will definitely come again. Right? So we see that Srila Prabhupada even conquered racism. This is what the whole world is fighting for, race. I am black, I am white, I am this, I am that. But Srila Prabhupada even slashed that, and he made us realize that we are all spirit soul. We may be in different colored bodies, living in different countries, but we all spirit souls. That means we are all worshipping the same Lord, we're coming from the same Lord. Right? So, yeah, what Srila Prabhupada did, coming from India to the West and doing what he did, spreading Krishna consciousness, writing so many books, establishing so many temples, preaching centers, establishing the food for life, that, you know, people are being, prasad is being distributed, spiritual food is being distributed every day in thousands of plates of spiritual food is being distributed. So in the entire history of mankind, no other personality has done this. So if you are not empowered by the Supreme Lord, you cannot do this. So that in itself shows that Srila Prabhupada is no ordinary personality. He is coming directly from the spiritual world, sent by Krishna to preach the message of God. And to surrender to such a personality is definitely only benefiting to us. There's lots of other things to say, but I'm sure there's other speakers. So I just want to say, I want to express my indebtedness to Srila Prabhupada. Just thank you, Srila Prabhupada, for opening my eyes and taking me out of the darkness of ignorance. So, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. It's also my pleasure to call one of our senior Matajis, Taralika Mataji. Please come. Welcome to our visitors.
Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Hare Krishna, everybody. What Prabhupada has done for us is so inconceivable, and we cannot express ourselves in just a few words. So I will just touch on a few of the topics that he has done for us. Firstly, the books that he has translated. How he did it in those few years is quite inconceivable. He actually translated so many books. He gave word-for-word meanings and so much of explanation and purpose on the books. How he struggled, he slept for very few hours at night, got up very early in the mornings, and he sat and translated. And the other thing about his service to us is the struggle that he went through. Even on his journey to New York, to America, he went on a cargo ship. It was not very comfortable. He had heart attacks on the way, and there was thunder and lightning and severe storms, and the boat was in danger of overturning. However, he still reached America, and he stayed with their family, but the family did not really appreciate him very much. He stayed there for a few nights, and then actually he slept on a sofa in the lounge. And then he used to go out during the day, and the family actually called a press conference to advise the public that there is a strange-looking person, but he is harmless. He is in saffron robes, and he is an Indian sadhu. So that was one of the struggles. And he shared his food with the cat's food, which was non-vegetarian, in the same fridge. That was one thing. The other thing is how he established so many temples. That is also inconceivable. He was living in an American society in the 60s. This was the hippie era. And he actually preached in such a way that those low down fallen hippies became Krishna conscious and have become leading sannyasis and sadhus in the movement. And they have continued this mission. How amazing that is. And the other thing about Srila Prabhupada is the Food for Life that he has started. It is going on and on. He had so much compassion for poor people and people who are starving and hungry. Besides giving a spiritual knowledge, he also gave sanctified prasadam to the people in general. And as I said, it's impossible to glorify Prabhupada in a few words. And how he spread Krishna consciousness throughout the world. The Maha Mantra that he gave us, that is something I personally grew up in a good Hindu family, but I had never heard of it before. And now, by his mercy, we are chanting, and that is a transcendental vibration that we are sending, and it is actually elevating us to the spiritual world. And I cannot express how grateful I am, and how grateful all of us, we should always be eternally grateful to him. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Dayal Nitai Prabhu. Welcome to our guests. Thank you for joining us. What we're doing today is that we are honoring the spiritual master. Yesterday was his birthday, and the temple is full with thousands of people. So today is our normal Sunday program, and I guess many people are tired. So today we are now continuing that program by speaking about the impact the spiritual master has had on us. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna devotees. All glories to my Gurudev, His Holiness Patasarati Das Goswami Maharaj. May his blessings be upon me at this time. This is my first occasion ever to speak in a temple which was founded by His Grace, Swami A.C. Bhaktivedanta, Srila Prabhupada, a great and amazing soul. I want to read to you his prayer when he left India and landed on the shores, on a western shore, unknown to him and only flanked by material people, the United States of America. And that is what increased and intensified my belief in ISKCON. The prayer is short and simple. This is what Srila Prabhupada said to the dear Lord Krishna. He said, "My dear Lord Krishna, you are so kind upon this useless soul, but I do not know why you have brought me here. Now you can do whatever you like with me, but I guess you have some business here. Otherwise, why would you bring me to this terrible place? Most of the population here is covered by material modes of ignorance and passion. Absorbed in material life, they think themselves very happy and satisfied, and therefore they have no taste of the transcendental message of Vasudev, that is Krishna. How will I make them understand this message of Krishna consciousness? I am very unfortunate, unqualified, and most fallen. Therefore, I am seeking your benediction so that I can convince them, for I am powerless to do so on my own. Somehow or other, O Lord, you have brought me here to speak about you. Now, my Lord, it is up to you to make me a success or failure, as you like. O Lord, I am just like a puppet in your hands. So if you have brought me here to dance, then make me dance. Make me dance. O Lord, make me dance as you like. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. That's his message. That is what touched me. Thank you, ladies, gentlemen. Thank you, devotees.
Thank you very much, Dayal Nitai Prabhu, for that. That citation is very, very powerful. So we'll ask the last speaker, Premagali Mataji, to please come forward. Mataji is a resident here in the temple.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please, Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Patsarati Das Goswami Iti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine. Vanchakalpa Kripa Sindhubhe Vicha Patitanam Pavanobhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Gurudev. Please forgive me if any offenses I may cause while I'm speaking, because I haven't been prepared for this and it's my first occasion. Well, I think through the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, I'm grateful that he has built a home for us. He has built a house for every one of us to live. And if it wasn't for Srila Prabhupada, none of us would have been here. And I am grateful for this home that he has built for us here. And for me to come and stay here, it was the greatest challenge. And I'm so grateful to the devotees at the Shri Radharanath and to the temple president and my Gurudev for his blessings as well for me to be here. And me being here, staying at the temple for almost 3 years now, had really changed my life for the better by serving the Vaishnavas, being humble, tolerant, serving Srila Prabhupada, serving my Gurudev, and also trying to do whatever I can for Srila Prabhupada, attending to Mangal Aarti, Guru Puja, trying to do some service as well. And distributing Srila Prabhupada's books has been a greatest thing for me as well. I love distributing Srila Prabhupada's books because by going on distribution, well, the first book is the most difficult book to distribute. Eventually, once you distribute the first book, thereafter, you'll be surprised how many books could be distributed thereafter. And, distributing Srila Prabhupada's books made me feel good and proud as well, and happy and challenging, very challenging as well. And people without hesitation would take the book, would read, will also ask questions and challenges, mainly from the Christian background and Muslim background, who are also very willing to hear about our movement, and they know that the Food for Life that we do, and a lot of feeding schemes that goes on in our movement as well. And that is, I'm so proud of, and through the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, that our ISKCON movement is growing. And also being at the book table is also a good challenge for me as well, meeting new devotees, speaking to them, and associating with them, which makes me feel good, and also to welcome them to Shri Radharanath. And there's a lot of new people that comes in here who feel so confident and feel good as well. And also for the prasadam that's been served here as well to the devotees, they are also grateful for that. And that's I could say. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Premagali Mataji. In your description of all the things you have opportunities for, you reminded us all to be thankful for all those opportunities too, because only of Srila Prabhupada's mercy can we get all of that. So, thank you devotees for assembling here on the Sunday Love Feast program. Now we will rise for the Artik ceremony.